This is disgusting used power steering fluid, and today I'm going to show you a quick 5-minute real-time way to do a refresh on your fluid that is completely clean. Okay, obviously I have the 4-liter V6, and here is where my power steering reservoir is located for your reference. Now don't worry, I will be doing a full power steering flush tutorial video, hopefully in the near future, but today this is literally like a power steering reservoir refresh, which should be about a 25% swap out of old brown fluid with brand new pink fluid. Wanted to get this video out for some of you who are like on a time crunch and maybe you just want to do this quickly versus doing the whole power steering flush. And the way I'm going to show you, it is super clean. You probably won't even need any paper towels.
There's so many tissues.
And here's everything you will need to do this quick power steering refresh. You can get this is actually automatic transmission fluid. Don't forget to check the good book to see what kind of fluid you need for my 2014 V6. It says Dexron 2 or 3, which is actually automatic transmission fluid. It's pretty hard to find actual power steering fluid nowadays. I went with Castrol Transmax. When you flip it over, it says this meets Dexron 3H, and the 3H actually covers all of the previous Dexron, so this one should be good to go. You can use what you want, but this is the one I went with. I want to say it's like $5 a quart, so very affordable. I'll just be using this measuring cup. Don't worry, this is a dedicated fluid measuring cup. I didn't swipe this out of the kitchen to reuse there, just to show you guys how much fluid I pulled out. I will be using this. It is a 100 milliliter siphon to suck the old fluid out, and of course, dump it into my waste fluid catch can. As always, links for all of this stuff in the video description below. Now, if you are at all curious why I'm using this instead of like a turkey baster or something like that, believe me, I grabbed the turkey baster I keep on my nightstand, and I tried this the first time and it did not work because when you remove the top of the reservoir right here, there is the size of the opening you have to work with. The turkey baster I have, which I do use for like some fluid things, it wouldn't fit in there at all. So obviously the tip of the hose here is much smaller. I can get down in there, especially towards the bottom, which is where the nastier stuff's going to be, to suck all of that out. One quick thing I want to mention on why I'm actually using the hose versus like a turkey baster. It looks like a top screen on here. You might be able to get that off, but I didn't really want to mess with it because I looked online, and to replace the entire reservoir, which does look like it comes as one piece, I want to say it was like $130, so believe me, I didn't want to risk breaking this at all, which is why I just siphoned out the old fluid. And another thing I like about using this specifically, in addition to the fact that it actually fits in the reservoir, is this will hold the fluid in there under pressure, so when you remove it from the reservoir...
Hello, rabbit.
So when you remove the tip from the reservoir down there, when this is all filled with fluid, it will not leak out. Hence, this is a super clean way to do a quick power steering fluid refresh. Getting ready to suck the fluid out, and normally I would just put it into my waste container, but I am going to put it in this measuring cup just to show you how much fluid actually comes out. I like to just set it over here on top of the radiator hose. It sort of wedges in there nicely, so it's not going to like be at risk of tipping over or anything like that. Alright, got the cylinder almost full there. When you are pulling it, just make sure you have it under control. Don't pull too hard with risk of it like flying loose and splashing with this disgusting fluid, but if you just do it slowly and surely, you should be okay. Now I'm just gonna shake the tip just a little bit to get any remnants off.
That's what she said.
It looked like it wanted to drip, but not dripping at all. Just transfer that right over to the measuring cup, and I'll go ahead and transfer this over. Alright, so there is the first tube worth of fluid sucked out. I'm just going to go ahead and repeat this process. This is 100 milliliters again. Should be about 2 to 2.5 of these before all of the fluid in the reservoir is sucked out. Now, like I mentioned before, I am specifically using this siphon only for power steering fluids, so I am just going to go ahead and store it in an airtight Ziploc bag, which I of course labeled power steering. This time around it did suck out about 100 milliliters, so it should be about a 10% amount of clean fluid I'll be putting back in. Again, not a huge difference, but like I mentioned, if you are short on time and you want an easy, clean way to just get some new clean fluid in there, this is certainly a way to do it. But stay tuned for that full power steering flush video. And now just to pour the clean fluid in, which is nice and pink. For the next part, I am just going to go ahead and pour the brand new clean fluid back into the reservoir, of course up to the max setting on the cold line, which is found on the left side. I suppose if you have shaky hands like Michael J. Fox, you could probably use a funnel for this. I'm just going to chance it and try it without.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Of course I spilled some. Now I only spilled that because I was actually checking to make sure it was in frame on camera. Other than that, it's really straightforward. You shouldn't make a mess like I did. Go ahead and get that cap back on tightly so no more contaminants get in from this side, and I'm going to wipe this up and we are finished. And if you guys are new to the channel or just enjoy these how-to maintenance style videos, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up and subscribe now. Alright everybody, that will do it for this quick tutorial showing you how to refresh your power steering fluid by sucking out all the old fluid out of the reservoir and pumping in new, clean, pink fluid. Like I mentioned before, we'll be doing a full flush video in the near future, so stay tuned for that. As always, thank you so much for supporting the channel by watching this video. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next video.